Good afternoon and welcome to another episode with Stuart and Andrew with his classic motorcycle page. Well, today, after I found my glasses, we're going to look at this Kawasaki AR80 water-cooled single-cylinder motorcycle. The problem is, when we turn the lights on, if you can see when we look at the bike, just turn the ignition on so we can see what electrics are working and what electrics are not working. That's the electrics are switched on. So we can see, if we look at the speedo and rev counter, we have lights there. If we can see, turn the ignition off and on, you can see we have lights, so we know we've got lights there. If we look at the headlight here, let's turn the headlight on and see if we can see if we've got any illuminations. Right, there we go. Headlight, so that's working. So if we come and look around again at the instrument cluster and the controls on the handlebars, we've got on the left controls, we've got main beam and dip. So let's just see if we've got main beam and dip. Well, we've got main beam, but we've got no dip. So there's definitely one filament in the bulb gone or a problem with the wiring. If we walk round to the back of the motorcycle and look at the backlight, we can see there's no backlight working. So I would imagine it's the bulb, but if it's not the bulb, we've got a problem with the wiring going to the backlight. Well, let's check the indicators again now. Okay, so left hand indicator front's working, left hand indicator the back's working. So we'll go to the other side. No power, or the bulb on the right hand back is not working. The right hand front is also not working, so we'll have to take this apart and have a little look and see whether it's the bulb or the wiring that's at fault. So if we have a look at the back of this little Kawasaki, we'll have to remove this side panel, this left hand back side panel and the right hand side panel, so we can have a look at the backlight, because the backlight is encapsulated in the back. And you cannot pull the back light out without taking the side covers off first. So on this little bike, there's two Allen screws. One on the left, we'll put it safely away in the toolbox lid so we don't lose it. So there's one on the left. Just lower that down out the way a little bit. And there's one on the right. So we'll take both these screws out, that'll give us access to remove the backlight. That's both screws taken out. So now we'll put the other screw in the back of the toolbox. And let's have a look at the backlight. So, this backlight has a small screw in it here, which you need to remove for getting the backlight out. So, let's have a little look. We'll get a little Phillips screwdriver to remove the screws, which are here. Remove that little screw there. Put the screw in the toolbox lid, because the worst thing you can do is lose a screw. Then you spend half your day looking for it. So if you keep all your screws and little nuts and bolts inside of your toolbox, or you have a separate little box to keep your bits and pieces in, it just stops them all getting lost. So that's both the screws removed from the back of the lamp. So let's just see what's happening in here. So we can now take this outer cover off here, which now reveals two more little Phillips screws that hold the backlight lens on. So what we need to do is get our Phillips screwdriver again, remove both the screws that hold the back lens on. Careful not to drop anything so we don't lose anything. That's the back lens removed. So, back lens removed, let's have a look at the bulb. The bulb looks a peculiar colour. So let's just turn the power on again and just see if it's the connection maybe to the backlight. Front light's working, so we should have a backlight. But unfortunately, the backlight's not working. A bit of a glimmer of a glow in the bulb, but I suspect that the bulb is past its sell-by date. So let's go to our warehouse in the workshop and we'll just... So now you can see we've successfully got the indicators eventually working. We've changed the bulbs and we've put new earth wires to each indicator, because the earth wires on these little bikes is just attached to the outside of the bulb holder. So we've resoldered the bulb holder wire on, which makes it a better job. And now, as you can see, so the only problem left with the bike at the moment is this back light. See, but if you hold the backlight bulb, you can see that it lights up. So the problem is the connection with the bottom of the bulb or the side of the bulb holder. So we'll just have to see what the problem is, because if you push the bulb in by hand and hold it up to the side with your finger, you can see that the bulb lights up. So the problem is just the connection with the bulb. So let's take the bulb out and clean up the connection, see if we can get it to work again properly. But generally electrics on motorcycles, it's just down to a connection or a bad earth. It's not rocket science, electrics on motorcycles. It's the simple things that go wrong, the cleanliness of the earth, the wire connections, and unfortunately lots of these electrics on modern bikes, especially these little bikes, are cheaply made. Same as Moto Guzzi's and Italian bikes, their electrics are rubbish. So you just got to put up with it and try and update it and make it better as you go along. So let's take this bulb out again and see if we can make it work. It's just a connection, but we'll get it to work. Keep watching and we'll see what we can do.